Good morning and welcome to NewsWare's Trade Talk for Thursday, April 30th. Okay, let's get into the action. Take a look at the S&Ps, which are trading higher by 0.45%. Nice morning. It's not all positive though. I mean, we are got some good earnings that we're talking about. There's a bunch of economics events going on, but the geopolitical tensions surrounding Iran remain in focus. I mean, President Trump has said he's going to be briefed today on military action against Iran today. This is a headline. It's not being picked up by, many outlets, but it is out there. And, that does add to uncertainty into the global backdrop of the market. You look at energy prices. Energy prices were spiking earlier this morning. I saw them at 4-year highs this morning, but they since pulled back a little bit. But then you look at the economic data that we're going to get today. We get the GDP, we get the PCE, we got jobless claims, all due out before the open. And then yesterday, the Fed, as we knew, they left rates unchanged. However, there's a significant growing divide among Fed members. I mean, these guys that are saying, hey, let's push it for lower interest rates in an environment where inflation is rising. You don't do that. And and the idea is we're going to grow so fast that it's needed. Yeah, that's not what happens. This is more due to political pressure than anything else. So I'm real concerned about the Fed. But there's 18, 19 members of the Fed, and 11 are voting at any time. So you just got to believe that the majority of them will be following the data. Washington, the House passed a framework that's going to fund DHS, Department of Homeland Security. There's news out there that President Trump is expected to sign an executive order today aimed at expanding access of retirement funds to be able to use to invest in different assets. We think crypto. What else do we see? Microsoft, they see $190 billion in CapEx spend in 2026. Google's talking 180 to 190 in 2026. What else do we have? Qualcomm, they announced a 20 billion share buyback on the earnings front. So we're seeing gains in Amazon, Google, Qualcomm, Caterpillar, Eli Lilly, Merck. On the downside, Meta Platforms, Microsoft, eBay, they're all trading lower. After the bell today, what do we have? We got Apple, Amgen, Western Digital, Stryker, Roadblocks, Reddit. And then tomorrow morning, you got ExxonMobil, you got Chevron, you got Colgate-Palmolive, Estee Lauder, Moderna, and others. So we got a lot of earnings still to come. Okay, let's talk about what happened in the European markets. Now, this morning, DAX in Germany, the DAX was lower. We were showing the DAX weakened. It was down like 60 points. It has since turned. It's now up 181 points or 0.76%. GDP came in slightly above expectations. I will have to say that about, Germany. The FTSE's rallying. It's up 1.39% or 142 points. Energy stocks, really were showing gains early this morning. The CAC in Paris, well, listen, it's down 0.1%, but you got to remember earlier this morning it was down over 1%. So this is a real turnaround, for the CAC for Paris stocks. That's good to see. Last night in Asia, we saw, it was mixed to lower last night. I mean, the Nikkei fell 1%, 1.06% or 632 points, last night. What can I say? Industrial production showed a decline, but retail sales did rise. So, that's kind of positive. And then you look at the Hang Seng, which is down 335 points or 1.28%. These rising energy prices are stoking inflation, especially in Asia. But Shanghai and China, they actually closed higher by 0.11%. But, tech stocks were strong, but trading volumes were light. You got to remember that they've got that Labor Day holiday that's going to run from tomorrow, May 1st through May 5th. So they got a big holiday coming up of multiple days. So China's going to be closed. Now we're taking a look, and we're looking at oil prices this morning. And I saw oil prices were trading higher, but now they're lower. I mean, you get WTI at 104.91. That's down 1.84%. You got Brent at 114.15, down 3.29%. It was at 121. That's like a $7 swing. You look at the AP, you look at the geopolitical tensions are still high, but I think oil had to crack because it was just getting unreasonably high. Nothing really has changed. Trump's going to get a military briefing on his options in the Middle East. I don't think he's going to do anything. I think the likelihood of him standing, I think that's more of just a negotiating point because, to expand militarily doesn't make sense. You can keep the blockade, but the more you expand military, the worse it's going to look for you. And you need to clear up this oil price issue before it really starts to have negative effects on the economy. And by the way, you haven't felt the negative effects yet. They're going to happen like 6 months. So yeah, we got a little bit of concern on that. Okay, now we're talking about earnings, and we want to start off with Eli Lilly that came out this morning. I mean, first off, the stock's up 6.13%. I mean, they delivered a beat of $1.76 on higher revenue. Wow, that was good. And then you got Caterpillar, Big Cat, CAT, Charlie Apple Tom, which is up 6.04%. They beat by 91 cents on higher revenues. That was good. And then, after the bell is really when a lot of earnings are still to come. I mean, let's face it, we got the big one is Apple. Their EPS is $1.91. Expected move is 3.89%. You got Amgen. Their EPS is $4.75. Expected move is 4.24%. You got Roblox EPS is for a loss of 43 cents. Expected move is 14.42%. Reddit, they're coming out EPS 62 cents. Expected move is 12.45%. Seen a lot of downgrades on the stock. Roku, on the other hand, listen, their EPS is 34 cents and the expected move is 11.95%. That's like $13.50. So yeah, that's one to watch. Roku, ROKU. But that's what I have for you in terms of earnings. Okay, let's move on and let's talk about the reports that are coming out today on the economic front. And one of the key ones that are coming out is the GDP. On top of that, you get jobless claims. On top of that, you get the personal income and outlays. That's the inflation report. I mean, these are key reports that the market does pay attention to, and they're all coming out. And then you had the Fed meeting yesterday, where they left interest rates unchanged. Powell's going to stay on as a Fed governor, and his point is valid. It's like, I want to stay on because they still could bring legal action. I want to stay on until I know that this stuff is over with. And if he's a governor, he still has a platform. If he's not a governor, he doesn't have a platform as much. So they could railroad him if he doesn't have a platform. But as staying as a governor, wow, that prevents. That kind of keeps the status quo in place. And then you had the dissent. You had multiple people dissent about the way the language being used in the earnings state, in the economic monetary policy statement. Ooh, that's not good. That's not good. I mean, this guy Kevin Warsh, he's facing the most difficult job, and there's the next Fed meeting is in June. Don't see any cuts happening anytime soon. I just don't think he'll be able to push it through. But we'll have to wait and see. It's still, June's a long time away. Okay, let's talk about news hitting the tape this morning. Apple, they're going to be maintaining their production in India. CapEx spend for Google and Amazon is, that's good. But because those guys have businesses to support the CapEx spend, whereas Meta doesn't have revenue that's going to be associated with it, which is why you're seeing weakness in Meta, whereas in Google and Amazon are trading higher. Meta's getting multiple downgrades today as well. And then there's Tesla. I mean, SpaceX is telling investors that no one can push out Elon Musk as its CEO without his consent. I don't know if that's good or bad, but we'll see. In terms of Dow Jones 30 stocks, so we're talking Merck. They beat estimates on strong cancer sales. Shares are up about 4% in the pre-market. NVIDIA's B300 servers are priced at $1 million in China. Wow, that's expensive. In terms of guidance, Microsoft sees double-digit revenue and operating income growth in 2027. Wow, that's nice. Qualcomm, as I mentioned earlier, they announced a new 20 billion share buyback. Nice. Okay, let's move on for our pick of the day, and I got to go with Roku, ROKU, Richard Oscar Kilo, Uncle. I mean, the fact of the matter is that their EPS is 34 cents and the expected move is 11.95%. The earnings are due out after the bell. Yesterday's call volume 6,469 versus 4,390. 64, 69, 43.90. Yeah, that's positive. Open interest is, rather muted, 68K versus 66K, but the call volume is edging. The call volume does give it that slight edge, but the major brokers are still raising price targets, and these guys are doing a lot of the right things. They continue to add subscription things to their platform. So, yeah, I mean, listen, if I can get in, under $113 today, that would be positive. I think this one's going to be a winner, especially after earnings come out after the bell today. All right, let's take a look and let's see about the stocks that are hitting the tape in the last, 15, 20 minutes, see if we see anything special. Let's see. Caterpillar sees full year 2026 tariff costs between $2.2 billion to $2.4 billion. RingCentral unveils advanced business messaging. Drive-in DRVN hedge fund makes an offer to buy drive-in brands. ADW Capital is making the offer. Meta Platforms file for debt offering. Red Cat to deliver 173 Black Widow drones under Japan's MOD contract. Trump's looking to endorse Andy Barr in the Kentucky Senate race. U.S. is pitching a new coalition to get ships moving again in the Strait of Hormuz. Car makers are banking on $2.3 billion in future tariff refunds. That's all I'm seeing. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about yesterday's stock of the day, which was Amazon. I mean, look at the fact the stock opened up at $257.99. I said $259. It opened up $1 lower. It fell down to $257.70, but then it rallied from there. I mean, it was trading green all day, and it actually closed at $263.25. And this morning it's trading over $270. So anyway, you look at it, whether the opening price or my entry price, you made much more than 1%. So that pick yesterday was very solid, very good. All right, traders, you guys know what to do. Let's go out there and make some green.